cut the hair and keep the head, or keep the hair and cut the head. That's how important hair was during the great Chinese Qing dynasty. Braid so long it reaches the butt and a dreadfully huge bald spot on the front for all the Han Chinese men and other various ethnicities. That spot should be shaved off every 10 days. This hairstyle is called a queue. This was the rule to exact submission after the Manchus ousted the Ming dynasty and inaugurated the Qing dynasty. Disobey and you will get your head cut. Though seeing this hairstyle, some might end up preferring death. We are given our body, skin, and hair from our parents, which we ought not to damage. That allegedly came from Confucius as mentioned in the classic of Filial Piety. This sounds extreme, but hair is a matter of life and death in ancient China. It wasn't just outsiders against the Han Chinese. The Han Chinese also cut the hair of the ones they conquered. The Sui dynasty against the Turfan people. The Tang dynasty against the Guk Turks. Because Confucianism felt that cutting one's hair was kinda barbaric, the Han Chinese was okay with a braid but not with the bald spot. Dorgong, a regent of the early Qing dynasty, felt that Confucianists had this as their excuse, but he contended that the emperors like their father, and that the sons must look the same as their fathers. It's like matching family looks taken to incestual extremes. Resistance against the Qing order was bloody. Educated elites were massacred. Many more were executed. The hairstyle symbolizes loyalty to the Qing. Disobeying means rebellion, as the members of the White Lotus Rebellion and the Taiping Rebellion did, with the latter being called the Long Hairs. English adventurer Augustus Frederick Lindley thought that the long-haired rebels in the Taiping armies were the most beautiful men in the world. He found the queue akin to disfigurement. Supporters of the 100 Days Reform of 1898 and students who had education abroad cut the braids. When the Qing fell, the queue order also fell. The young Puyi was inaugurated as the last emperor of China and the final Qing dynasty ruler until the Jinhai Revolution of 1911 that ended the dynasty. Everyone cut their hair overnight. Puyi cut his in 1922. There were other hair rules before the Qing dynasty. Hair could symbolize a tribe or a dynasty. The first Ming dynasty emperor Zhu Yuanzhong established a mandatory hairstyle. Long hair, no shaving part of the forehead with strands of hair for some frills. Disobey and you will be castrated. Your family would be exiled to the borders, that includes your barber. The law was meant to erase in the population the partially shaved hairstyles from the Mongols of the previous Yuan dynasty. The first emperor of the Western Xia dynasty, Jingzong, laid a hair edict down against the Tangji people. Top part is shaved with some strands left to frame the sides and the forehead. Emperor Jingzong was the first to have this haircut. Cut your hair or in 3 days your throat will be cut. It's to distinguish a Tangji from a Tibetan or Song Chinese. The Jurchen people tried a queue order during the Jing dynasty, but the order was rescinded. These hairstyles governed by law are actually present everywhere all throughout history. Let's do a rundown. Japanese men during the Edo period were ordered to have the hair in front of the head and shave their facial hair. During Enver Hoxha's reign in Albany, any hair longer by 4 centimeters was banned. No beards. He felt long hair to be degenerate Western bourgeois culture. That's kind of a fancy way to refer to 1960s hippies. Any man who disobeys this rule is not allowed to enter the country. Czechoslovakia from 1960s to 1970s felt the same way. They call it manika. Some cities and towns barred people with this getup from pubs, theaters, cinemas, and even public transportation. Singapore once banned long hair in men. Hippies were also to be blamed. Iran also banned ponytails, mullets, and spikes to stop Western cultural imperialism. There were emo killings in Iraq and Saudi Arabia because of their long emo hairs. They felt it to be either homosexual or satanic or both. Back in 1698, Peter the Great enforced a tax to grow a beard to westernize Tsarist Russia. Beards grown by tax evaders were shaven against their will. Former South Korean President Park Chung-hee limited men's hair length. Obey or else you would be dragged to the police station to have your hair cut. On other split ends, Tajikistan often shaved men's beards by force. The beard was considered a symbol of radicalism. Passports were reserved for clean-shaven men only. Same in Uzbekistan. Beards were deemed to be a threat to national security. Black Africans had their heads shaved after they were transported from Africa to North America during the Atlantic slave trade. Their hair was shaved in an attempt to remove their culture. Law required black and Louisiana Creole women in the 18th century to wear a tignon, a head cover, for their hair. The pigtail ordinance, almost established in 1873, was supposed to force prisoners, mostly Qing Chinese prisoners in San Francisco, to shorten their hair within an inch of the scalp. Their queues were supposed to be cut off. It was struck down for being unconstitutional. The Islamic hadith forbids partial tonsure. The monkish hairstyle where almost all the hair on the scalp is shaved off. Shaving the entire head was okay though. Leviticus 19:27 proscribed Orthodox Jewish men from shaving the corners of their beards or scalps with straight blades. Buddhist monks and nuns need to get tonsure for the rite of Babaja. A fake ruler or a dethroned king during the Merovingian dynasty, a ruling family whose kings were known for their long hair, would get tonsured. Byzantine emperors who have been overthrown would commonly be tonsured and castrated together with their sons around the 8th century. These are just some of the punitive hair laws all across the world and in history. So every time you go to the barber and get that perm, Caesar cut, that green hair color with some bangs or whatever, remind yourself that hair is life.